In this video, I'm going to get every token and every trophy in one of my favourite childhood games, Toy Story 2, which now has a platinum on PS5. I'm sure if you look back on when you were young and first started playing games, there's a handful of games that stick out to you, but a lot of us will have that one game we used to play all the time, and for me, it was Toy Story 2. Recently, PlayStation have added some PS2 games to the PS5, and alongside that, they've added some trophies to games that are already out, so now I can relive my childhood and actually get the platinum trophy in it.
It is coming! It is coming!
We start off by making sure Buzz vibrates and start the first level, Andy's house. The game has super low res cutscenes that are literally just scenes from the movie, so to stop Bob Iger killing the channel, we'll be skipping them, and obviously I won't be going over the story. We've all seen the film, I hope. As soon as the game started and I heard the music and sound effects for the first time in 20 years, let me just say, the feeling is back. Now let's quickly talk about the trophies and how the game works. The game is split into levels, and each level has 5 tokens you need to find. To get the platinum, you need to get most of the tokens, but just for the sake of it, we will be getting all 50. If you talk to Rex, he'll tell you where the tokens can be found, and there's also a trophy for finding him in every level. Also, just a quick wee plug, if you're wanting to platinum the game yourself, I recently launched a guides channel, where I've got a full trophy guide up for this game. The link will be in the description. Now, let's go and get some tokens. Using the handy rewind function on the PS5 emulator, we were able to climb to the top of the loft and get a sheep for Bo Peep, and then defeated our first boss for their first trophy. I actually think this game holds up surprisingly well, just in terms of the premise of the game and also mainly the level design. But the combat is not great. You can shoot with your blaster and you've got a spin attack, and these can both be charged. But overall, it's just very finicky trying to actually fight the bosses properly. We're now finished in the loft, so we can head down to the garage, where we can race the RC car and definitely not cheat by getting in its way. We fully explored the living room, finding 50 coins to give to Ham, which gives us another token. And in the kitchen and the basement, we get a platforming token and Bo Peep's last sheep, which gives us our final token for the level. So the way the game works is there's no end of the level, you just quit out once you've got all the tokens that you can find. And because of this, the game is basically just a big collectible hunt. So to make the video better, I'll be skipping through the more repetitive tokens and only talking about the good stuff. So in the second level, we start off with another race that we can cheat. And I don't know why, but this token in the pool is one I remember so vividly from when I was younger.
Time to lose.
And we quickly finish off this level by defeating the kite boss at the top and finding all the toy soldiers. Every few levels we'll get a boss level, and like I said about the combat not being great, these levels are definitely not great. For this plane boss, I basically just stood with a charged shot and hit it as it went by, and then I hit it again, and again. The Elden Ring DLC is out now and I'm doing these boss battles instead. I actually quite like the construction site level. It's really small, as you can see by the wooden fence around the perimeter, but it's super vertical, which is fun. We start off by heading into this green hut and putting our primary colour skills to the test by making purple, orange and green. And after getting this token off Slinky, we take a nice relaxing bath in some cement for another trophy. And now it's time to start climbing the tower. Considering the fact this game is 25 years old, there's some fun physics puzzles here that I didn't expect, where you need to seesaw these blocks to make the jump. Annoyingly, to defeat the boss at the top, we need to take a detour back down to Mr. Potato Head to unlock a power up. Thankfully, there is a shortcut we can activate to get up quicker. And this boss might actually be the worst in the game. It constantly just goes towards you, but to hit it properly, you'll need to turn around and look at it. I managed to beat it by using the rewind function a lot and just mashing square when we had the disc launcher. I jumped off the tower to hand in the coins to Ham, and then I realised the collectible I needed was back up there. So again, we used the godsend of a rewind function to get up and find the last tyke. Jumped down to Ham again, and handed in the tykes to finish the level. Alleys and Gullies is also a level I vividly remember, but I'm guessing it's because I got stuck at it. In this 2024 playthrough, we managed to get 9 lives and ride on a balloon for a token. Annoyingly, this is one of the 2 levels in the game that you can't finish on your first go because we need a power up from a later level. But for now, we can head into the water section, jump on all the lily pads, and then get this super easy collection token from Slinky. There's something quite fun about playing kids games with an adult brain and a modern controller, because you can just cheat at some sections.
Great going, Buzz.
But sadly, this is as far as we can go in the level for now. And we fight another boss which honestly feels like it would be impossible if I was younger. You just need to shoot him loads, but if you stop shooting him, he'll regain his health. He also jumps over your head, which will ruin your lock on, so yeah, I genuinely can't imagine doing this when I first played it. But with all the FromSoft skills I've acquired, he was no match for me on the PS5.
To infinity and beyond!
Al's Toy Barn is another level we can't do in the first go, but at the time I didn't know that. So the first thing we do is collect 4 chickens, unaware that the 5th one is locked behind a later powered up. And then we complete a race for a token. We beat this boss without stepping on the goo, which basically just comes down to mashing square. And we climb this filing cabinet, which is all we can do at the moment. This last token is actually not needed for the platinum, but the completionist in me will be for sure coming back for it. In the next level we have another easy boss, and when using this claw machine for a token, we get a trophy for purposefully missing 3 times, and we complete this level by finishing a race and making sure to collect every alien before handing them in. Time for another boss level, and I'm honestly not even sure how this one works, but we just kept shooting him and he would spawn enemies, so we would shoot them and shoot him and shoot them and shoot him. And now in this vent level we've unlocked the grappling hook, and after dodging some wind and fire we get to the top of the section and solve this wire puzzle to access the rest of the level. We climbed these 2 lifts to get to the very top and activated a shortcut to get back up here. In this level we need to collect 5 mice, and we found this one completely by accident when we jumped from the top, and then used the rewind function to pick it up. And now we can use the shortcuts to reach either the wire room or the top of the map. At the top there's 2 paths we can take. On one side we need to race a token down to the bottom. Other than the fact you might fall down a hole, I actually don't think you can fail this one. And then on the other side is one of the easiest bosses in the game. We collected the final mouse and moved on to the next level. However, we actually now went back to alleys and gullies since we have the grappling hook. We used the hook to climb to the very top of this section, finding 2 ducks along the way, and then fought the boss at the top of here. He himself is a spinning top, so to get the trophy we need to defeat him with spin attacks. We collect the final duck and could now actually move on to the next level. Al's penthouse is one of the best looking levels in the game, and we start off by collecting a very easy token off Bullseye. There's a puzzle in this level where you need to direct a train to a certain location, and I honestly think I just got lucky with this. First I moved this block in the way so I had more time to think, and then from the final location I retraced my steps imagining what way the train would go. And after setting it up, I prayed and I let it go. And it worked, meaning we can now push this block all the way around the room, climb up here and get the token. If you're going to play this game yourself, it's worth noting this token isn't needed for the platinum, so if you're having issues with it, then just skip it. Next we had to finish this boss fight only using charge shots, which is slightly annoying because if you get hit while you're charging, you lose the charge. And when you start charging, you let off a normal shot, so this is a bit finicky, but if you mess up, you can always go back in time. And now we could go open the TV stand, which somehow leads us into the toilet, and the toilet is also huge. In here we can ground pound these blue buttons which raise the water level, and we can collect a bunny at the top. And then when we're finished we can open the bath plug to drain the water and talk to Ham. In the kitchen we can open another padlock, which lets us jump all around the counters to find the last bunny, which we can give to Jesse and move on to the Zurg boss fight. It took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out that Zurg is immune to your blaster, so you can only do damage to him by spinning, but he floats about so this can be quite annoying because you can't actually get close to him sometimes. Now we have the airport luggage level where they simply just cooked way too hard and this level is way too big. We start off by getting this token by collecting weights, and then we climb this scaffolding around the spaceship until we get to a power up we haven't unlocked. So now we need to jump back down and talk to Mr. Potato Head to unlock it. We can now use the power up to get to a boss who's also immune to blaster bullets. Then we can climb back up to where we were and use the boots to get this token, and then use the boots again to fly all the way over here for a collectible. And then climb back up on the scaffolding again to fall down here and get another collectible. We can now hand these guys in and move on to the final level of the game. I actually do quite like this level. It's essentially just a huge square with areas placed around the side which are numbered so you don't get lost. We find the Rex for the final time and solve a puzzle to get a token. Now we have to make our way through this maze without jumping or touching the goo. Again, this was probably impossible back in the PlayStation 1, but with the rewind function, if we make a mistake we can simply just go back in time. Most of the other stuff in this level is found after you jump on the plane wing and then jump off on the other side. If we jump off at number 7 we'll find another spin attack boss. And then the pro gamer strategy is we jump back on the plane wing from here and jump off at number 8 for a piece of luggage. We can then talk to Ham for the final time to get his token, and then head back near Rex who's got the last piece of luggage which we can now hand in to get the final token in the game. But we're actually at 49 out of 50, so instead of fighting the final boss, we're going to quickly head back to Al's Toy Barn to get the final chick and the token that we needed the hover boots for.
To infinity and beyond!
And now for the most anticlimactic boss fight of all time.
Howdy, Space Ranger!
There's no final boss here, you just fight 3 of the earlier bosses, and 2 of them are the spin attack bosses, so we basically just mash circle here. While the boss fight plays out, I just want to put some wishes out into the universe for older games that I would like to see ported to PS5 with a platinum. Cars, Meet the Robinsons, Finding Nemo, Stuart Little 3 Big Photo Adventure, Dog's Life, Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters, Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, and Madagascar. Everyone will want Simpsons, but as you know, we already got the platinum in that, just like we now have the platinum in Toy Story 2.